Saints fans and who that's from all over the world. It's time for Saints News Radio with Kyle T, the Professor, Diva, Remy, Coach Rick Gilly, BB, and the gang.
First and 10, let the story begin. It's football Sunday, the Saints marching in. We went from bang on our heads to them calling us ain'ts. Now it's let's say they gon' beat them Saints. First round by, when we made the playoff, everybody hating that we get to take the day off. Vince and Boogie, nobody do it better. Now we on our way to our best season ever.
Okay, Saints fans and who that's? This is Kyle T. Mosley of the Saints News Radio Network. We are on the air live here in the Saints News Radio studio. We have BB here with me. How you doing, Brendan Boylan?
I'm doing well. Happy to be on this Wednesday night. Really excited for our guest today.
Yes. We have a great show planned for you guys. And we have the professor from The Professor Speaks, Derek Craig Stevens. What's happening, D?
Hey, Kyle. Hey, BB. What's up, everybody? How y'all doing? Tough loss, but got to stick our hands up. Hopefully we can get these dirty birds done next week.
Yes, sir. And we have the coach, Rick Gailey, who will be in the studio with us a little bit later on. And we have a special guest who is a part of the New Orleans Saints. But not only that, he's a part of the New Orleans Saints, he is a homeboy himself, and he is a McDonald 35 Ron Eagle. We reached out to him, his agent, and those guys got back to us, and Delvin Breaux will be in the house with us at 8:10. So be on the air listening into our interview with Mr. Breaux himself. Guys, let's just quickly talk a little bit about the Saints and a couple of housekeeping items before we get into the meat of the show. Don't forget to go to www.bontowntravelnetwork.com. Bontown Travel books cruises as well as airplane fares at discount prices across the world, not just across the U.S. So check those guys out. You can call Andrea at 832-735-7755. Don't forget to also go to Biz Cash Fast. Professor, tell us a little bit about those guys.
Hey, if you need any alternative funding to help you expand your business or capital, check us out at BCF LLC, www.bizcashfast.com, and we can help you with your streamlining of your profits of your business and help you with some funding. Once you pass Tier 1 testing, as we look and examine your entire business from an HR perspective and most importantly from an accounting and finance perspective. So go out to www.bizcashfast.com or call 678-369-1197.
All right. Awesome. Coach, is that you on the line?
It's Delvin Breaux.
Hey, Delvin. Oh, you're in early. How you doing, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good.
All right.
I thought this the wrong time.
No, you're right on time, man.
Ron Eagle.
That's
What's
right.
up, Delvin?
We have a Ron Eagle in the house.
3-5 is in the house. 3-5. What's up, my man? This is an honor here, man.
Oh, yeah. How y'all doing?
We are doing
right,
well.
my man.
We are doing well. If you don't know, this is Kyle T that you're speaking with right now. And that loud person you just heard is the Professor Derek Stevens from The Professor Speaks. He's also a Ron Eagle.
Okay.
And we also
All
have
right.
Brendan Boylan, and he's also a part of the Professor Speaks and the Saints News Radio Network. So, man, we are so proud of you. That's the first thing we got to say.
Absolutely, man.
All right. Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
No problem. Look, we were praying for you when you went down, and the professor and I, we went to prayer for you to have a quick healing. So I know we're not going to talk about the injury. We want to put that past us, and we look forward to your quick return.
Okay, yeah, I appreciate it, man. Thank y'all so much.
No problem. Well, look, man, the first thing I would like to do is say welcome to the Saints News Radio family. Once you be a part of us, you can't go back, so you are.
He automatically fan because he's a Ron Eagle anyway. He got the eyes, but that's no choice for them. He's double family.
Yeah, you stuck with us now.
You stuck with us, Del.
Oh, yeah.
Well, look, man, being a part of the hometown and being able to see your team all of those years growing up and having such an outstanding 2015 season last season, a lot of people know about your story, but I'm kind of curious right now, Delvin. Tell us how you are being honored by your old high school, McDonald 35.
Yeah, man. I just got the call the other day, actually, from my dad. He's working with the football team and a track team, and he was like, "Man, the coaches in the school are talking about wanting to retire your jersey." And I'm like, "What?" He's like, "Yeah, man. They want to go and retire, and it'll be a huge honor if we can have you. I know you're busy or whatever, but if we can have you come for homecoming and maybe, go out there and get your jersey." I'm like, man, I was so excited, man. I'm like, man, a lot of great guys, like Hall of Famers, in the NFL, like guys who had great careers and stuff and such like that, get their jerseys framed, in high school, man. And just hearing that, man, it's just a huge accomplishment.
Yeah. Especially since you persevered through such a lot. It was later on in your career at 35, you had the injury, and now you have that number 6 jersey that was on your back at the injury on your wall somewhere. Is that correct?
Correct. Yes, it's in my office, actually.
Wow. I mean, you're such an inspiration to be able to persevere, go through what you went through, and still at this time fulfill your dreams. A lot of people don't understand this. Being a part of McDonald 35 gave you a lot of foundation to be able to persevere through a lot of trials and tribulations. But growing up as a young guy in New Orleans, tell us what other aspects of you that gave you the foundation to be such a strong and committed young man.
I would say just my ability to work hard, man. I was always a hard worker. I was one of those guys who didn't have it, like the ability. So I had to, work for it and grind for it. And that's something that always stuck with me, each and every step of the way, man. So when I had my neck injury, man, I was, I went back to those roots,
Right.
I have to outwork everybody. I can't just lay down. I can't sit up here and feel like my career is over with, man. I have to get up and continue to keep persevering, continue to keep being motivated each and every day, and just go out there and be the best. And that's something I've done, and it stuck with me, and I'm here now in this situation.
Yeah, well, definitely it's shown to be true that through hard work and dedication, you will be a high achiever. The Saints, as well as the NFL, were able to bestow upon you a great honor. You just became the recipient of the Ed Block Courage Award. Tell us a little bit about that.
That award is basically for guys who persevered through injuries and have courage, and actually that's playing well on the field, man, during that time or whatever. So whenever you get hurt and you come back and you playing well, and your teammates get to honor you for that award. So, man, my teammates honoring me that award, man, it's such a huge accomplishment, man, just because just the courage and the fact that, I never gave up, and my teammates actually seen my story, heard my story, and for them to honor me with that, man, it's pretty cool.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, you grew up in New Orleans, and I'm pretty sure you were a Saints fan, like all of us, right? To now wear the black and gold, and to be able to know that we're going into the 10th year of the Superdome reopening. And, thinking back 10 years ago of that Monday night game the Saints had against the Falcons. What's the feel around the locker room and around the city, as well as what's your memories of all of that?
Man, I was actually in the process of moving, to be honest with you, during that game. I was in Baton Rouge trying to get settled in. The community in Baton Rouge, man, was pretty nuts, man. You know, you could step outside and you hear people hollering and screaming and, screaming for joy, man, and excitement about that game, man. And the Saints are actually coming back, playing in the Dome, and plus beating the Falcons, of course. So, it was just high energy, man. And that's something I always told myself I want to be a part of. So, we here, man, and like I say, man, it's just an exciting feeling.
Awesome. Let me open it up to the rest of the hosts to ask you a question. Professor, do you have a question for Delvin?
Yeah, my man Delvin. First of all, man, as I stated earlier, man, I cannot actually communicate how proud I am of you, dude. I'm just very, very elated to even have this honor to sit and talk with you, man, being that you are a graduate of MCD 35. And Kyle and I, we talk to a lot of the listeners that are outside of New Orleans to understand when you're from New Orleans, we don't really talk about the colleges we went to. You're defined in New Orleans by your high school. So on behalf of the many Ron Eagles that I still in contact with from me and Kyle's class, we are so proud of you, man. In fact, when I come down to New Orleans in November, I've got to get over to the Black and Gold School. I'm going to get your jersey, man. And definitely fun to hear living in Atlanta. I got to show these dirty birds who the real man is. I want to ask you, man, a couple of questions. My first question is, what was your reaction the day Coach Sean Payton and Mickey Loomis came to you after you did your tryouts? And if you don't know about this young man's tryouts and how impressive he was to Coach Payton, you need to go back into the archives of Google and read about what Coach Payton stated about my man. What was your reaction when you got the phone call that, Mr. Breaux, we want to offer you a contract to become a part of the New Orleans Saints, your local, hometown, and probably your favorite NFL team? What was your reaction after you got the call or when you heard the call?
I was actually in the building, after I just got done working out with those guys, man, and, just to hear Coach Payton and Loomis and Rob Ryan at the time, man, those guys was like, man, this guy's pretty good, man. I think we have a gym here. And they was like, man, I think they was like, we want to sign you to a contract, but you can't leave this building without signing one. And I was like, what? I was like, y'all serious? I was like, are y'all serious? He was like, yeah, man, we want to bring you in. I'm like, no way, man. I was just so excited. I was just more excited to, tell my wife and tell my family rather than sign a contract, So,
yeah.
But, man, it was just so exciting, man. I was like, man, I get to play for my city. I get to play for my hometown. I get to play in front of family and friends, man. And, man, it was just a blessing, man. And, I was more excited, to tell my family more than anything.
Let me ask you also, Delvin, were there other teams on your radar that you had on your list that after you left the Saints that you were also going to visit? And, of course, I know the Saints were probably your number one choice. But were there other cities that you had as a backup plan that you was also planning on visiting if Coach Payton had not, had the wisdom to say, no, we're not letting him out of this business? Because I would have did the same thing. We're not letting him out of this building.
Man, I had 28 NFL workouts total.
Wow.
And the Saints were number 15. They were number 15.
Wow.
I had a couple teams, really was interested in me before the Saints, but they never offered me a contract like the Saints did. So once I got to the Saints, man, and I made my mark, man, it was just something that I have to be here. I have to stay home. My family's here, everybody's here, and I wasn't really worrying about the teams before or the teams after. I was just worried about that moment of signing the contract, being the New Orleans Saints.
Awesome.
Wow. And congratulations, man, on the extension and everything, man. Your story, Delvin, it's something that I pray and hope that God inspires you to write a book and your story, because I think your story is absolutely